Hello, dear class 5 students. Welcome back to our science class. So today we will continue with part 2 of lesson 3, air. Okay? Now, so you can all turn to page 21. In our last class, we have discussed about the composition of air, right? So we have discussed that nitrogen and oxygen are the major constituent in the composition of air. Now, we have also discussed the importance of air. Now, we humans, we need air to breathe. Same as even plants, they need carbon dioxide. And also plants, they need nitrogen for their development, for their growth. So they need nitrogen. And that nitrogen they cannot take directly, but with the help of the bacteria, which are present inside the soil. So that is what we studied in our last class. So dear students, everything we are dependent on one another. And air is very important for all living things. Okay, we humans, we breathe in oxygen and we release carbon dioxide. Now, plants, they need carbon dioxide. Now, and they release oxygen. Okay, the plants, they release oxygen. And that oxygen is taken by we humans. Right? So, we have discussed the importance of air. Now, today let's discuss about the uses of air. Now, there are many uses of air. For example, I have 3 pictures here for you. There are many examples, but I have shown you the most important one. Now, we need air to breathe. Air is used for inflating car tires, right? Air, it is used to inflate the car tires, to inflate these balloons. Do you like balloons? Do you like to blow balloons? So we have to, what do we have to do? We have to inflate, we have to put gas, right? So students, these are some uses of air. Now there is another very important uses of air, but for that, we will do activity together. Because science is one subject that we learn, we enjoy. Okay? And science is also one subject where we learn by doing experiment, by doing activity. So are you all excited for this activity? Now through this activity, we are going to discuss one very important uses of air. So let's see. Now to do this activity, we need a candle. So I'm sure you have a candle at home. So what we have to do, we have to light this candle and fix it on the table, like this. Light the candle and fix it on a table. Done. Now I'm sure you have a glass, a transparent glass for drinking water. So we can take a glass and we'll try to cover this candle with that glass. And that glass should be in inverted position. Now when I say inverted, locally it will be ulta. Okay, locally in Nagamese we say ulta. So we'll try to cover this candle with this glass like this. So this is the second step that you have to do. Very simple. The first step, we have to light the candle and fix it on a table. The second step, we need a glass, and we have to cover this candle. Now this is very simple, right? Now the third thing is we will observe. Let's observe what changes will take place. Now, when we cover this candle with this glass, then the candle will stop burning after some time. So now we can see the observation, we can see the results here. So now the candle stops burning. What do we learn from here? Now, for burning, we need air. Okay? For burning anything, we need air. Without air, in the absence of air, we can see from this experiment that the candle stopped burning. Right. So students, we are discussing about the uses of air, and I have shown you 3 pictures, right? We need air to breathe. We need air to inflate car tires, air for inflating balloons, and then the fourth important use which we learn from this experiment, that we need air for burning. Okay, so for burning anything, if there is no air, it will become like this. From this experiment, in the absence of air, when the candle is covered with a glass, we see that the candle stops burning, right? Because there is no air. So air is required for burning. So that should be you should write down, okay? So the 4 uses would be air is required for burning. Not just for this candle, but for all the purposes. We need air for burning. Now, so I'm sure you are clear with all the 4 uses of air. Now we have lots of uses, okay? But we're discussing the important one which are mentioned in your textbook. Now we will discuss about the properties of air. So you can have a look at this picture. So we will discuss properties of air. Now, from this picture, what do you observe? Now, air occupies space, right? Air occupies space. Because from blowing, like, okay, we can take example of blowing of balloon. We can take example that air can take any shape, right? If the balloon is a square shape, it will take the shape of a square. We can also take example of football, right? So like that, air occupies space. It has no definite shape, right? It has a mass. From here, we can see the difference in their balance. We can see the difference in their mass. We can see this balloon. We can see the other balloon. Which one is heavier? So we can make out from here. Right? Okay. Now, students, another important property of air, apart from occupying space, apart from their mass, one important properties of air is air exerts pressure. Okay? Air exerts pressure. Do you see this guy here? So have you ever tried this? So students, what happens when you keep on blowing? If you don't stop? If you don't stop, what will happen? This balloon will burst, right? This balloon will burst. Now, that is because of high pressure. We are blowing, right? So now if we don't stop because of high pressure inside this balloon, it will burst. So air exerts pressure. Okay? Okay. So dear students, the next topic that we are going to study is about air pollution. We have already discussed about the importance of air, the uses of air, the properties of air, the composition of air. Now, we know how important air is for the survival of human beings, for plants, for animals. But the topic that which we are going to discuss now, it is a serious issue. It is very important. Now, the topic is air pollution. Dear students, due to all the pollution from this earth, our air has become unclean. Okay? Our air has become unclean. And if our air is not clean, if our air is not clean, then it will be very harmful for every one of us, for animals, for plants, for everyone, for every human. Okay, so now how the air becomes unclean? It's because of pollution. We will discuss about all this pollution, but you can have a look at this picture. In this picture, we can see, right? So not only from cars, not only from the big vehicles, but there are pollution everywhere, which makes our air unclean. And we are going to discuss all of them one by one. Okay? So the first type, the causes of air pollution that we are going to study would be burning of fossil fuel. Burning of fossil fuel. Because of burning of all this fossil fuel, it makes our air unclean. Because they are exerting harmful gases. Okay, because they are exerting harmful gases, which makes our air unclean. Now you can see here, burning of coal, pollution from cars, from heavy industry, factories. Now they produce this carbon monoxide. Okay, carbon monoxide, it is a very poisonous gas. So I want you to have a look at these pictures. These are all examples of burning of fossil fuels. Okay? Now, it is important. Yes, students, cars are important, right? For traveling, for daily needs. It is important. But students, everything in this earth we should use wisely. Because we depend on air for survival. And if our air becomes unclean, every one of us are in danger. Okay, so all this burning of fossil fuel and also the gas from all these cars, automobiles. This is causing air pollution. Okay? Now, next, agricultural activities. Now, for all these agricultural activities, we see all these purposes. Right? For zooming, we have to burn the forest. Now, pollution, harmful gases are exerted from here. We see a dark smoke, right? We see gases coming out from here when we burn this forest, right? So those gases are making our air unclean. Okay? So we have discussed the second causes of our air pollution. Let's discuss about the third causes of our air pollution. That is an exhaust from factories and industries. From factories and industry, many harmful gases are exerted every day, like carbon monoxide, organic compound, and they pollute our air. Okay? Now, second, from indoor air pollution. Now, from this picture, we can see that there is a family, and here it's a painter, right? Here it is a painter. Now, students, we get a strong smell or a sharp smell from all this paint, right? But in order to make our house look good, we have to paint, right? But when we do that, we get this sharp smell, a very strong smell, which when we inhale, it is difficult for us to breathe, right? So that is also an example of pollution. So pollution, it is everywhere. It's at indoor, at home, at factories, at forests. Now, the last point, that is the fifth point for the causes of air pollution, is burning of garbage. Now, if you look at the dumping site, do you see a dark smoke? That is a poisonous gas. That is a poisonous gas, which is going to be very harmful to us. It will affect our respiratory tract. After inhaling all this harmful gas, it will be difficult for us to breathe. Okay, students? So these gases are very harmful. So we have discussed 5 important causes of air pollution. Now, the last point, the last topic would be consequences of air pollution. What are the consequences of all this air pollution? So students, because of all this air pollution, once we inhale, we will get respiratory and heart problem, even cancer. Okay, students? So yes, for our daily needs, for our uses, we are dependent on all these machines. But everything, students, we have to take precaution. We have to use wisely. Because when we inhale all this poisonous gas, we get all this disease, all this sick. We get sick. It'll be difficult for us to breathe. We'll get a heart problem. Now, the second very important is global warming. Now, global warming, in a very short word, it is the temperature, okay, because of all this pollution, the temperature of this earth increases. Okay, see, it is increasing. Now, when the temperature of our earth increases, then what will happen? The ice will start to melt like this. Then what will happen? We'll lose our habitat. Okay. The third is acid rain. Because of all these gases, pollution, it can lead to acid rain. Now, acid rain is very dangerous. Okay, and it is caused because of the gases, the poisonous gases like nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide. Okay, now the fourth point that we will discuss would be depletion of ozone layer. Now, this ozone layer protect us. Okay, this ozone layer protect us from harmful UV rays. Now, if pollution increases, we are destroying the ozone layer. Depletion of ozone layer will take place and will be in direct contact with the heat from the sun. Okay, so student, we have discussed all the consequences, the causes of air pollution. So that comes to the end of this class. See you in the next class. Thank you.